I am overwhelmed with the heat here. Not a place that anyone should move to, I don't think. I understand the taxes, and maybe Nevada's too desolate, maybe Florida's too humid, and maybe Colorado's also too desolate, and like there's just nothing going on. And you don't like flannel, you don't like mountain biking, you're not a skier, you're afraid of going off on one blade on one leg like all your friends on the double blacks during the season. You can't do it because you saw one guy have tear his ACL, and you're like, I that's going to be me. What's the point of that? Then I'll just get fat when it's like summer. You know, I'll be recovering during the spring, and I'll be fat in the summer next sequence, and it's all back to the skiing again. It's like a never-ending cycle of injuries and fatness and looking bad in a bathing suit, like a bloviating asshole. There's nothing like that's kind of true. We await the Lindsay Clancy jury verdict in her conveyor belt of death, one shot after the other. Every time I touch this, it fucks it up. Let me put it down for a second so you get the full effect. Three. I'm sad. 3. There has to be a correlation between Munchausen's, narcissism, like pick-meism, and postpartum depression. There has to be something about, if you legalized infanticide, like killing babies, I don't think they would do it. I think they would just be like, this is not going to get me the attention that I want. I should drive my car into a Pizza Hut with a bunch of Indian people in the suburbs. That'll do it. Hate crime, light maybe cross on fire, Mississippi burning, something like that. They'll go down that road, which is very confusing for a woman because of the empath thing. But then again, we're talking about strangling babies, so we're already in weird territory. But that was where they would go because they need the attention. Look at me. I am depressed. That's what it is. It's all about that. There must be something so wrong with me. I must be severely affected because I did this. I need help. I need your attention. We all see this in our relationships in a smaller degree, to a lesser degree. But I guess this is what happens. It gets to another level. Again, I talked about it the other day. It's like the things that women do to control men through sex, including changing our objective viewpoint of like their behavior, that somehow the female gaze, the way they, through the prism in which they view the world, is appropriate, rational, concise, and that men, for some reason, are the crazy ones. And the only reason that we agree to this is for sex. The only reason women agree to each other's lies about like narcissistic boyfriends, for instance, is because they too want their sob story to be affirmed by their coven of witches. They want the circle jerk. Women lie to each other, and they know they're lying to each other. And the woman listening as the receiver of this lie does not feel disrespect. They're grateful to be the kind of to absorb it. So it's when it's their turn, and it may not be then, but when it is, they'll get that reciprocation. And it's just fucking insane. It's like an evil sisterhood of the traveling pants. That's what it is. That's what we're going through right now with the TikTok moms, with your girlfriend. If you bring this up, I have someone that I know that had suffered postpartum depression. I know someone else that suffered. There's an extreme version of postpartum depression. Hold on one second. Let me look this up. It's like 3 levels of postpartum. So there's postpartum psychosis, a rare medical emergency that usually involves killing your kids, drowning them in a bathtub or strangling them. No, within the first 2 weeks after delivery. But this is not that. This is something else. Types of postpartum: acute, severe, chronic. And again, the framework I talked about this in the past is that it's like the woman, again, the objective psychosis is this woman was parted, her body, from the thing that she grew inside her, and she feels distraught about it in a very, confusing way. And it's not her fault. She's affected. It's brilliant. She is a loving mother who gave birth to this thing that was part of her, and now it's not, and she's confused by it. Not her fault. Very interesting. It's very interesting. I got upset when someone did something to hurt me, and I reacted because I was in a bad mood because of how they treated me. I see my friends, their children, ask me to stay up one night with their baby so they can get some sleep. I've done this before. I want to kill the kid. I can only imagine a woman from the viewpoint of getting attention, that the child is demanding attention and they feel jealous, and so they end the kid. They take him out. It's like, you are really annoying. You cry for no reason. I give you the bottle. I give you the titty. I give you the whatever it is, and you just I think you're being selfish. In game. Yeah. And we're just supposed to be like, well, this is a horrible affliction. My mother was friends with Brooke Shields, and she was part of that group with the postpartum thing. I grew up from a mom, and I understand the female viewpoint. What I will say is, this woman's not going to get off free. She's going to go to a mental institution for a while. I don't really think anyone should be locked in a jail cell, and that's considered what do you call it? Reformation, or they're going to be reconditioned to enter back into society, and there's a combination of punishment and reform. Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. I also don't think it makes any sense in her case. Well, we have to put you in a facility so what? Well, you don't hurt other people. I'd imagine that private health insurance with private doctors is far better than a state mental institution in terms of psychiatric care and the quality of care. You know what I mean? How easy are they to give out antipsychotics at this state hospital without the oversight, the one-on-one? Because you're seeing so many crazy people, the level of mental illness. You're just so used to these people being stacked on Strattera, Wellbutrin, Seroquel, whatever, Abilify, all these drugs. And she herself, in the private care of a doctor, was also stacked up. I don't see any net benefit to this. Just maybe don't give her kids anymore. Don't give her puppies. Don't give her some Cabbage Patch Kids to decapitate, as kind of a, I don't know, a what do you call that? A pacifier, Don't give her any guns. Maybe get her into laser tag or paintball. Maybe you can put garden gnomes in the lawn, and she can do a karate class of kids. But maybe she's wearing one of those Rottweiler dog training outfits, so she and it makes it impossible for her to squeeze the kids, but she can make money and be a net contributor to society by pay her taxes by giving karate chop lessons to the kids in the neighborhood who want to punch the gnomes that are shaped like children, and she can get off through Munchausen's by proxy, that they are killing the kids for her, the little gnomes, kind of a symbolic simulacrum. But it's maybe she can't. Maybe that's not her path. Maybe she needs something else. Sarah Connor, that thing. Again, it's like jail. It really is. This is more of a symbolic thing. The divide between innocence and guilty is a symbolic thing. Women can't fathom this because it's just there's there must be something wrong with her, because who would do that? Men are yeah, I don't know, women like use their children as like a weapon against their, you know, their spouses when they divorce. Women particularly do this, men less so. Men have a breaking point. Well, they'll become toxic as well. And I'm sure there's like men that do this also, but for the most part, I feel like men are more aware of like child abuse when it comes to like women will talk about their spouse being abusive because they're the physical one, they're the masculine man, so therefore they are the ones that are like physically abusive, but they're often always the one ringing the bell. Very rarely is the man accusing the woman of this. The woman's always pointing her finger, and it always seems like a victimization thing where like the ones in public with athletes, it's like Adrian Peterson's like never done anything wrong in his life and he's accused of child abuse because he like spanked his kids with a belt. I'm like, that's because the way he was taught by his parents. Like, this is not like, he's not doing this maliciously. This is his idea of like, you know, and he's like a dumb like athlete and he doesn't know any better, so he takes a plea deal. But a woman did this that was in a battle with him over like alimony payments. Like, that's disgusting. My mother taught me to hate my dad over, like, you know, her just, like, hell hath no fury. Like, I don't even know what she was upset about after all these years. It's absolutely ridiculous. But, yeah. I don't know. I like this guy Jacob fucking Jones on YouTube doing a deep dive into the new Cowboy Cut Marlboro Red cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. I like cigars, but the show was such a joyous occasion. I was so happy with watching the show and him explain the packaging, how the line of the label of when you pull the cigarette, it's not matching, which makes it look less quality when people would argue that Marlboros are considered the upper echelon of like 7-Eleven or convenience store cigarettes. They're not like Nat Sherman's, but they're like considered higher into like Pall Malls or whatever. And he's like disappointed in that branding, like the packaging. So, and I really like, I don't know anything about cigarettes. I just believe him, and he's passionate. And sometimes when you're not even in an area that you like share in common with someone, you just appreciate, you know what? I agree with this guy because I believe he knows what he's talking about. You know, I know, like, you know, those that new startup that's like, what are they doing? They're enriching uranium for like energy for data centers. I'm like, they probably know what they're talking about. Like, you know what I mean? They probably know what they're talking about. So, what Bentley should I buy? God, so many good ones. I'm gonna get one. It's gonna be awesome. Take it easy. Oh, the doggie's on my lap right now. She wants to go outside, but I've been out, and I had to do this pod. I had to get it off my chest. I wanted to do 3 pods this week because I've been like kind of lacking or slacking. The news cycle's a little weird. I don't really know what to make of it. Michael Strahan is just knocked up a woman who looks like a Chrissy Teigen lookalike with a giant forehead. Whatever. I bet she just like has such game and it's worth it to him. Black guys like a girl a little extra. They're really into that. Like, well, she is like, you know, she is like hips and hip fat on top of hip fat, kind of like a double chin, but for like Zoftic, like curvature. I'm like, I've never seen that. White girls don't have that, you know. And like our tiny white dicks can't even infiltrate that area. Like just these thick thunderous thighs. Like, yeah, we're not for that. That's why black guys are packing, because they have to get through all that, you know, foliage or jungle, whatever it is, of fatness and like, you know, like their ass is so big, like you need like a 10-inch, you know, protuberance to enter that. It's just science. Yeah. So I used to think the Korean girls at GW were really hot. I took a when I was at university in DC, I would be in Foggy Bottom, and Georgetown didn't have the Korean population. Like a lot of Koreans like GW, or maybe they couldn't get into Georgia. I don't know what it is. And they were just so bad because they dressed like teeny bop, like Britney Spears. Oops, I Did It Again. And they spoke in Korean to each other, and you're like, how do I infiltrate this? The best I did was like dating a Russian girl named Asta, but I couldn't break the wall of. I actually didn't. It's fair. I didn't try. I was afraid. It's like hi, and then like all right, bye. You know, it's like there must have been something for me there. Some opportunity. It's just that's what happens. You miss all the shots you don't take. Pete Maravich, Pat Riley, who said that? This is true. I think the girl that winks at the courtroom, Brittany Romano, at the Lindsay Clancy thing in the green dress, the dark hair. She's such a freak. It's like inappropriate what she's doing, but again, it proves there's this like self-indulgence. Like they get off on this, and she's like flirting with the camera. It's so hot because it's psychotic. Like the contradiction is so attractive. She looks good there. I don't know if she looks like that all the time, but she looks a little bit like a young, what's her name from Gina Davis. There's like a Gina Davis mix there. I'm like, why not? Why not? And she's like, she knows she looks good. I'm like, dude, time and place. Look at this. Okay. Oh, the circle of life. She wants to get down. But let's do a little hot. She wants to go to the PARK, and she can spell, so I have to be careful. I had to say that very quickly. 1 second. Someone just texted me. Business. The wood one is shorter. The white one. I'll take yeah. "46 inches tall." What is that? I don't even know what that is. 46 inches. 46 inches tall. 46 inches tall? Dude, I don't even know, actually. Is that tall? I don't think that's that tall. Should I have the one that's like... Is 46 inches... AI, show me like proportionately. Can you give me proportion? So I'm just checking to see if this is good for me. Checking to see if this person can deliver this thing. Um, say. Hold on. Audio. There we go. Okay. And we're back. Well, let's see what they say about that. Yeah, just not a lot going on. I think it is weird that John Radcliffe, the CIA director, was not the head, not an advisor to the CIA. Is he the head guy? Anyways, he was in Russia. I think they're worried about oil prices. They want the conflict to end. The whole purpose of Russia extending the conflict as the Iranian conflict was going on was partially to protect their interests with Iran. Because the trifecta in terms of exports to China, China's relationship with Russia, when Russia uranium was blocked by the U.S., they would do this like pair trade thing, swaps, where the uranium was actually from Russia, but China labeled it, and they would just pay a premium for the distribution. Like they work together quite well. I don't think the United States has ever had a shot, and it's kind of confusing that Israel is an impartial, kind of like ally of Russia. I've done work with China, although they don't get any infiltration there in terms of like power. China is well aware of the way Israel operates. That the Russian citizenry in Israel, Putin said they would never like involve themselves, and yet clearly they were like protecting Iran this entire time. And the Iranian-Turkish gas pipeline clearly is an issue in terms of undermining Gazprom. And so if the West were to take that over, it's like, I think Erdogan becomes even more powerful and gets more concessions potentially. I don't think Turkey will ever be under attack by Israel directly. I think that's just nonsense. That's just like invective for the sake of the elections in Israel. Like they're not like calling on Turkey being like the next great threat. I'm like, dude, this is like a never-ending bullshit, like a shit show. It's just not possible. Just politically, it's not possible. There's just too many natural resources at stake. But God, crazy psycho woman. Oh shit, clavicular with the black girls. Good for him. Is he really on 220 of tests? That's just so much, man. I'd be the horniest motherfucker in the world on 220. I'd be like banging homeless girls. They're like bad. Like yeah, it would be bad. Like, do you need a shower? I've talked about this before. When I was on 200, I was like a fucking monster, dude. I dig the guys that took down the flock camera, the three teens in South Carolina. That's a good group. They should have like a podcast or something called the Flock. Like their facial structure, they'd be good on camera. They're a good look. Good look. I like that. Uh, are these Caleb Williams pictures photo shoot? Are they real? I know he's gay. He's definitely gay. He paints his nails. He has like an oversized Birkin bag. He seems to be gay, which is perfectly fine, I guess. Because he balls out. I was questioning that his rookie season. The guy can play. I don't know if it's good for his branding, but I don't think anyone believes that guy is like normal. Seems like to be a fucking weirdo. Nice. Nice. I need to go to Barcelona. I need to go to Spain. I need to go to España and meet a beautiful girl. Howard Stern's wife's really hot. She's the one that turned him into like a woke little weird Jewy bitch. She looks like a lesbian now. Is that what she wants? She wants to date a lesbian? Respect to Palmer Luckey for saying that H1B1s are abused in Silicon Valley and are replacing like local labor. No shit. But the worst is the stock-based compensation lie. Like that is the thing where they're taking less SBC, or SBC is like kind of filtered up to the top. And it's like restricted stock units and all. Everything's just like starts to like weighted heavily towards C-suite. Um, yes, there is a what do you call it? Let's see what they say here. This will be interesting. I'm trying to find something. Oh, shut up. Is that the girl from Vampire Weekend Contra? No. Is that her? Shut up. Oh, that's so cool. She's a good looking girl. Mm-hmm. Audio. audio is always a problem. You know, it's so hard. I have this special post-quantum messaging system thing for this project I'm working on, and it is exhausting. Fucking exhausting to do, I have to say. The marketing for it, trying to like fix all the bugs right before we launch. It'll be interesting. Waiting for the SEC to email me back about a couple things. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. The fuck is this? This game called Trenches looks dope as fuck. Lock and loaded. It looks great. Looks great. Can't wait to play it. Not a GTA 6 person, not a big video game person, but I will like to get a system at some point again. Yeah, why not? There's just nothing to talk about. Like, I want food. I want food. I want a good brisket and some potatoes. That's what I want, you know? Messes up my vibe. It is hard, the audio quality and keeping the flow. There's nothing going on in the world. I want to go to this place called Van Horn's to get a steak. It's not really a steakhouse. Like, it's kind of more of a seen or be seen thing, but it's this weird little pretentious strip of downtown Austin. And I want to go there because I heard the steak's better than Jay Carver's. Is that even possible? Put it down. Oh. Michelle Monaghan Adorable. Such a cutie. She was in running to be what's her name? Are they related, Michelle Monaghan and Bridget Monaghan? In the event, she was in running to be Tom Cruise's wife. She was like one of the finalists. She didn't make it. I don't know. Like a panel of weird Scientologists and a bunch of like other people to decide who's your wife's going to be. It's so strange. Oh, yeah, okay. The actual what happened, it seems horrible. One kid was strangled so forcibly the pressure made his brains pop out of his skull. I don't know how that works. Another kid saw this and ran. He was captured by his mother and strangled to death, just like his siblings. Yeah. Yeah, this Lindsay Clancy thing's crazy. I don't think it matters. She's going to an institution one way or another, whether it's a prison or, you know. It's like, how do you prove she wasn't crazy? How many people in prison are crazy? The criminally insane don't really get... There's so many people in prison that have borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. What's the difference?
It's cool that we got to hang out for one.
You better stop. You better stop. Don't be trying to run. Don't be trying to... Where you going? Where you going?
I want good food. I'm going to take the dog to the park. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I want to take the dog to the park. I want to be happy. All right?